Now I want to move to my far right, Ms. Amy Gravino, Asperger's Syndrome college coach and self-advocate. Ms. Gravino, would you like to make an opening statement?
Yes, thank you, moderator. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you here today. It is an honor and a privilege. I thank you not only on my behalf, but on behalf of all individuals on the autism spectrum. I feel fortunate that I am in a position to better articulate the challenges and strengths of having Asperger's syndrome than others in situations similar to mine. I want you for a moment to imagine your daughter. Even if you don't have one, just think of what she would be like. What does she look like? Maybe she is small. Maybe she wears glasses. Does she have friends? Maybe she is the girl huddled in the corner at birthday parties, crying from being chased around with balloons by the other children, who know the noise of the balloons popping frightens her. Maybe she lies awake in her bed at night, talking up at the ceiling, narrating fantastic stories of people and places far away. Maybe she comes home from school, 9 years old, 9 long years, and tells you she feels like killing herself. Maybe she sits in the guidance counselor's office the next afternoon, trying to hold everything in her together for just one more day. Maybe she is me. There was a point in my childhood when I stopped smiling. We have many photo albums at my parents' house, and if you look at them, there's a certain part where I've been smiling, and then my face grows less and less smiling, somewhere around 10 years old, which is about when I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. There may have been other reasons why I stopped smiling, which was my teeth, which were large and protruding. I was often called Bucktooth Beaver and Bugs Bunny by my peers. That didn't give me a lot of reason to smile on a physical level, but emotionally, love. So I believe if we establish a dialogue and we talk about the good and not just the bad, and we remember that we are dealing with different people, that we will make tremendous strides. And I would like to conclude by saying that the autism community is a chorus of voices singing in unison. But if you listen closely, you can hear just how different each voice is. Thank you.
Can I say wow?
Thank you.
You talked about believing in yourself when so many other people did not. What was it about you, do you think, that made you believe in yourself?
I didn't really know the answer to that for many years. I didn't think there was anything to believe in because my personhood, who I was, who Amy Gravino was, didn't really exist until I got out of high school, because everyone else was telling me who I was. You're this, you're that, you can't do this, you can't do that, and I had no perception of who I was. And it's only been over the last 10 years, actually it's been 10 years since I graduated high school, that I've come to see that I am a person. First of all, I'm a person. I'm here. I'm on this earth. I'm anchored. I'm not just a ghost kind of wafting through the halls. And that person is worth something. That person is worthwhile. And nobody really said that for a long time. And the few who did, perhaps I wasn't listening because I was a teenager and, you know, I was wrapped up in my own psychodrama. But now, finally, I have come to assess my own worth, and I believe it to be very great. And that was just a lot of fighting and a lot of not listening to all the people who said otherwise.
Based on your experience, when it comes to support systems, what's missing? What needs to be done?
I think a large problem that happens with support systems is the tendency that people want a one-size-fits-all solution, and that simply doesn't exist with autism. You are dealing with individuals here, people who may share the same diagnosis, and perhaps the one universal trait might be social skills difficulties, perhaps communication difficulties, but at the heart of it, you are dealing with different people who have different hopes and dreams and desires and strengths and weaknesses, and you have to take the time to get to know these people. It's like a car. Most people, they want to go under the hood, they want to fix the one piece that's broken and close the hood. But folks with autism, we're a whole other different type of car, and you have to memorize a completely different manual to learn how to drive us. So, and a lot of people aren't willing to read the manual. They just want it to work the way that they're used to everything working. So taking the time to get to know us is, I think, really what's missing and what's needed.
The word stigma has been used a couple times up here, and as you said, this is an individual issue we're talking about there. But if you were to give advice to someone as to how to overcome that quote-unquote stigma, what would you say?
Well, I would say that I know how hard it is to try and fit into a world that is not designed for you, and how frustrating it is to feel like you never will. And I would say that you come to a point where one of two things happens. Either you just stop caring and giving a darn what people think about you, or you realize that it is not something that you need to be rid of. Autism or Asperger's, it's part of who you are, but it's not all of who you are. And if you can learn to see the great things about it and embrace those things, and also work on the things that you perhaps have struggles with, you'll feel like a more whole person, and you'll realize that everybody struggles with these things, that we're all not so different under the skin. We all struggle with a lot of things. Perhaps folks who are on the spectrum just struggle with these things a little bit more. And if we can understand that, then we'll understand each other a lot better.
Tell us about yourself now. Life is good?
Yes. What do you want to know?
Life is good. Did you ever think that you would have this life growing up?
Not in a million years. There's absolutely no way I would have ever thought I would be where I am right now. I'm in graduate school. I'm about to finish my master's degree. I started my own business for the college coaching. I love to cook. I cook all the time. I have so many friends. I'm happier. I'm bursting with happiness. People ask me, "Are you happy?" I am absolutely filled with it to the top. My cup runneth over. So yes, life is very, very good right now.